All right, so this strategy that I'm going to present to you guys is not fun at all. In fact, it's boring as hell, but it prints OTPs. So if you're struggling to get this process done, listen very closely, because what I'm about to show you is a secret method and a strategy for you to start printing OTPs, which is ultimately finding the right buyers for your properties. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. Now, for everyone who's wondering, okay, how do I get more OTPs? Okay, so let me just put this down in. All right, how do you get more OTPs? Now, let's look at the traditional side of doing things. Let me put a straight line down here. Okay, so we've got two options, right? We've got the traditional side, okay, and then we've got the modern side of when it comes to getting and acquiring buyers. Now, if we're looking at the traditional side, what do we typically have? Well, we've got property portals. All right. Then we've got, for example, those people who would market their properties on, let's say, marketplace online. Okay, etc., etc. All right, so we've got property portals, we've got a marketplace. So this could be Facebook Marketplace, for example. You could also post your listings on WhatsApp. Okay, you can put them on your Facebook and Instagram. I see a lot of you guys posting listings there. All right, so there's different options. This is more the traditional side, right? And why I'm saying it's traditional as opposed to just focusing on property portals as a whole is because the traditional side, and this is what I've noticed, is you're mainly essentially focusing on waiting for people coming to you. All right, so how do I put this? Is you are essentially giving off your property and you are waiting, right? You're waiting for someone to click the bait. So the best way I can really put it is that imagine you are a fisherman, right? Let's imagine that this is fish. Okay, there you are. All right, now you've got your bait, okay, in the ocean. Okay, there we go. We've got your bait in the ocean. Okay, now here's the thing with the traditional side. We don't know, unfortunately, who's in this ocean, all right, who's in this river, or what fish is in this dam. Okay, there could be no fishes, there could be one fish, there could be two fish. But then here's another issue that I'm seeing, and this is what I'm noticing about the traditional side, is that it's not just you, okay? There's someone else as well who's got bait, all right? And then there's another person as well who's got bait, okay? So can you see, it's not just you, there's millions of others. And it's not just one boat, there's multiple different boats. But now the thing is, if we, let's say, have about 10,000 boats in a dam, okay? And there's only 5 fish, or there's only 100 fish, or there's only 500 fish, how many of you guys are going to eat? A lot of you guys are going to eat. Why? Because there's too many of you guys in this dam. So ultimately, if you want to win, you need to find a dam that has guaranteed good fish, quality fish, big fish, okay? And you need to make sure that you are literally the only one, or one of the very few fishermen that can actually go there and capitalize on that fish, capitalize in that dam. So for example, with the traditional side, utilizing property portals, marketplace, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, etc., etc., every single agent and their mothers utilizing the strategy. And that's why I always like to say that it's not the way that you want to go, because unfortunately you are all fishing in the same pond. Okay, it doesn't necessarily work that way, especially from the property portal side. Everyone is fishing in the same pond. And if you're all fishing from the same pond, then every single farmer or every single fisherman is in that pond, then eventually you're all going to finish the fish. And then what's going to happen? You're just going to sit there and wait. That's what I'm seeing in property portals. Everyone is just sitting there waiting for a buyer, waiting for a lead to come in. All right, and that's not the way that you want to go. However, if we're looking over to the modern side, what I would like to view as a modern side is utilizing technology to attract leads, okay? So what do I mean by the modern side? guys, you could be utilizing AI, right, to find your leads for you, okay? Because look at it this way, guys. When we've got your AI, or even platforms like Google Ads, okay? The reason why these two work very well is because AI is going to essentially go and find, let's imagine that that is a magnifying glass, right? It's going to go and find your leads, right? People who already have been searching to buy a house in, let's say, your particular area. Google Ads essentially is going to find people that have been searching on Google, right? So you know when you're on Google, right, and you type on the search bar, all right, and then you click on search, all right, Google is researching that. Google is like an eye, okay? It's looking at what you're searching. It's looking at what you're searching, it's looking at what you're researching, okay? So that it can feed you more of that content to help you. Or if you're searching to look, let's say, for example, you're looking to buy a house in Centurion, then it's going to give you websites of property websites that have listings in Centurion. But if you're running an ad, you can then run an ad to that person who's searching to buy a property in Centurion. That is the power behind AI and Google Ads. Google Ads, you're going to be finding people who are already searching for that property in your area that search it on Google, all right, when you're running an ad for that specifically. And then AI is specifically looking at your audience's attention, or looking at where they're spending most of their time. So if they're spending most of their time on Facebook and Instagram, searching and looking at property, speaking about it, communicating about it, guess what? Now, whenever you go back on Facebook and Instagram, it's going to start showing you listings in that particular area, if that's what you've been looking for. So the beauty around the modern side is now you are that person with the, okay, let's imagine that that's you, right? That's a sophisticated modern boat, right? But now you are a fisherman, and the beauty around the modern side, and this is what I really love about it, is that it's a bigger pool, it's a bigger ocean, and now you are guaranteed fish. Why? Because it's only going to show you, or it's only going to show your property deals to people who are already looking into buying a home. Okay? Now, does this mean that each and every single one of these fishes are going to be cash buyers or immediate buyers? No, but it's immediately going to show your ad to the people who are either in the market to buy or are thinking of buying. And that is a very high, how do I say it? This is a better and you have a better and a higher propensity to get more OTPs with these types of buyers because they have already been in the market looking for something, all right? And on top of that, we are able to qualify them as quick and as soon as possible. Whereas with P24, yes, the beauty around it is that there are people already searching for a house, but the problem is that there's too many of you guys in that pool, in that pond, which makes it difficult. But now, from a modern side, they are going to see your ad either when they're immediately searching for it on Google and there's no other competition, okay, or there's not as much competition, or if you want to utilize social media, which I like to recommend, there's no competition, all right, because they're going to see your listing and your listing only. And then when they see your listing and your listing only, guess what? They pay attention. They want to talk to you. They want to engage with you. So now, once we have hooked in that fish, right, let's say we've hooked in now this fish, we like to utilize landing pages to qualify the lead, right? Because here's the thing, guys. Yes, I know for a fact that you can get leads utilizing property portals and all that good stuff. But the problem is now you need to call them and then you need to qualify them, all right, before the viewing, okay? But now this process takes time. Calling them, their phones could be off, it could be difficult to get hold of them. And then there's a qualification process. You need to make sure they send over the documentation. And if they don't send over the documentation, then it's difficult to go through the viewing, and then it's difficult for you to get that OTP. But the nice thing about this strategy, when we're utilizing AI, we're finding people that are already looking at buying a house, already in the market, but we're not 100% sure. So what we then do is that we move them over onto a landing page where we can qualify them, ask them the right appropriate questions to see if where they're qualified. And then if they are qualified, for example, then we get them to book an appointment, okay, on our calendar so we can have a conversation with them. Now, here is the reason why this is important. The qualification process is super important because I'm only going to speak with buyers that say that they are pre-approved. People that already have the funds, people that are already ready to go. So that once I spend more time with people that are qualified, I know, for example, we can have more appointments, right? So I can have an engagement with them, and then we can go over and I can show them the properties that they need. And if I show them the properties that they need and they're already pre-qualified and we already have that data and that information, guess what's going to happen? Now we're going to get to the OTP a lot faster and quicker, purely because I've got a system that is going to already find people that are already in the market or looking at buying, but I'm not 100% sure. Therefore, I move them over to a landing page to qualify them. Once they qualified, then I'll have a conversation with them just to verify their information, and then we go over and do the right viewing. Now, of course, if the buyer ticks off everything, ticks off all the boxes, and on paper they're good, then that's going to get you closer to the OTP, right? And that's why I'm saying that the strategy prints OTPs, because now imagine if you have your ad that's running and that's attracting at least 50 to 100 buyer inquiries a day. Let's say, for example, from those 100 buyer inquiries, 10 of them are qualified. From those 10 that are qualified, now you can go do viewings with all different 10 buyers. And that's just from 100 leads. Some clients get 100 leads in a day. Some get it in a week. So you know that the following week you're doing 10 viewings with 10 different buyers that are already qualified. Some could be cash buyers, will help you close the deal a lot faster and quicker. Can you see the process of why this works? The only problem is that it's boring. Why I say it's boring is because you're going to start realizing that this is so easy. So it's literally just going to be mundane because the system is what's generating the leads for you. All you just have to do is call the buyers and go see buyers. Now, all you'll be doing essentially is seeing buyers, having conversations with them, doing viewings and closing deals. And that's what makes it boring because it's going to become so repetitive. It's going to become so habitual. You're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do on a day-to-day basis. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you guys to get so bored of closing deals because it's just so, it's easy for you. It's not hard work. And that is why I say that it's not fun, but this strategy prints OTPs. So if you want to learn a bit more about how the strategy works, click on the link in the description below. I have a free masterclass that you can go and check out. And I also have free training that will walk you through how to set this up yourself. DM me AI to my Instagram account, which is king.listing or Wandile Mr. W, and I'll send that over to you all for free. All right, guys, if you got a lot of value in this, please feel free to click on the subscribe button, like, share it with another agent who you think will get a lot of value from this. I'll see you guys in the next one.